Is it worth upgrading if you already have a DJI mic? What's up everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Derek, and in today's video we're going to be going over the DJI Mic Mini. This Mic Mini was released about 2 weeks ago, and as you can tell, it is a pretty small microphone. This microphone is designed to clip onto your shirt like many content creators do, and then it's supposed to be able to give you excellent audio quality with your cameras, with your smartphone, or whatever device that you're using it with. I am using the DJI Mic 2 right here, and so if you hear any audio obstructions, like maybe I tap on the mic or whatever, it's because I'm actually recording this video with the DJI Mic 2. In regards to the DJI Mic 2, this has been my go-to microphone since I started doing any type of content creation. And you can see right off the bat is that these two microphones are just completely opposite of each other. While the DJI Mic 2 does have a small form factor, the DJI Mic Mini has a smaller form factor. And so both of these microphones do the same thing. They are allowing the person who is capturing content to have great audio for their videos. And so based off of the immediate differences I can see with the DJI Mic 2 and the DJI Mic Mini is the fact that the DJI Mic Mini went on a diet. I mean, it's thinner, it's lighter, it's shorter, and I'm not really sure if shorter has anything to do with diets, but it is a small little device. You can see here on the DJI Mic 2 that it has somewhat of a glossy form factor to it, and this can sometimes be distracting if you're doing content creation because it's a little bit glowy, a little bit shiny on your shirt or whatever, whereas the DJI Mic 2, it has like a matte color to it. It doesn't really collect light. If it does, it really doesn't make it glare like the DJI Mic 2. And then also just the small form factor of it makes it easier to hide. The DJI Mic 2 has 2 buttons on the left side of it, and then it has 1 button on the right side of it. And then at the bottom, there's a USB port, and then at the top, there is a little section for where you can actually use a wire to plug in some type of hard wire to your DJI Mic 2. And that top portion is also used for a wind muff, again, still on the DJI Mic 2. So now let me clip on my DJI Mic 2 so I can show you the differences on the DJI Mic Mini. All right, so onto the DJI Mic Mini, there's only going to be 2 buttons on the right hand side. There is not going to be a USB-C section, and then there isn't going to be a top area where you can add an additional wire for any additional mic onto the DJI Mic Mini. It still retains its clippy functionality like the DJI Mic 2 has, as well as its little magnetic thingy right here. And so if you're ever wondering, how does this magnetic thing work? It's actually just like you would assume. It's a magnet that clips inside of your shirt or whatever, and I would say it's a pretty strong magnet considering the fact that it's a tiny magnet. And so for reference, for the size of the DJI Mic Mini, here is the DJI Mic Mini, here is the United States quarter coin. And so you can see that it is pretty much the same size of a quarter. So the DJI Mic 2 is 28 grams, whereas the DJI Mic Mini is a whopping 10 grams. And so both of them, I mean, they're superiorly light. You won't ever really notice either one of them attached to your person. But again, if you're looking for comfortability and you're just looking for something that's going to blend in more with your particular attire, the DJI Mic Mini, because of its small form factor, is definitely the one that you're going to want to use. So continuing on with the differences between the DJI Mic 2 and the DJI Mic Mini is that the DJI Mic 2 actually has a max distance of 250 meters, whereas the DJI Mic Mini has a distance of 400 meters. That has double the range than the DJI Mic 2. And so there is a caveat there, is that if you're going to be using the DJI Mic Mini with your phone via Bluetooth without the receiver, that distance can be a little bit short. And I haven't tested that actual range out yet, but I will do it for you so that way you can see, do you actually need to buy the DJI receiver? And so you might be thinking to yourself, Derek, what's the receiver? Isn't this the receiver? No, this is the transmitter. So on the DJI website, you're actually able to buy just the transmitter. And if you have other DJI products like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or any of the DJI Osmo action cameras, this is going to work inherently with those cameras because of the interoperability. As of December 2024, this Mic Mini does not pair with any of the DJI drones, but DJI does often release updates to their products that allows for more digital interoperability or more of an ecosystem. And so if you don't have a DJI camera, like for instance, I'm using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to record this video. If you don't have, let's say, that DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or the DJI Osmo Action cameras, you definitely want to make sure you buy the DJI Mic Mini with the receiver, because even though this particular Mic Mini device will connect to your phone via Bluetooth, the audio quality is expected to be lesser because of the fact that it's running off of Bluetooth. Whereas if you have the receiver, there's going to be a little section that plugs into your phone, and that receiver is going to allow for more streamlined audio connection between the Mic Mini and your phone. For me, I only bought the Mic Mini by itself for $59 because I have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And so again, if you don't have any of those action cameras by DJI or the Osmo Pocket 3, then you might want to actually spend a little bit more money and go ahead and get the transmitter and the receiver for your phone or for whatever other camera that you're using. Continuing on with the receiver is going to be the fact that you might actually have additional features if you buy the receiver and the mic together, because there are going to be some functions on the side here with those buttons that allow for you to have noise reduction, and there are different levels of noise reduction with this. So on top of having wind reduction with the wind muffin, you could also have 2 different levels of noise reduction. And again, I think that is going to be exclusive to those of you who purchase the receiver along with the mic. So DJI also offers a bundle with a case, and that's where you get to charge your DJI Mic Mini as well as the receiver. And so that is going to be the most expensive option, but again, it really depends on what you want to do. I personally, whenever I capture content, I like to have as small as a footprint as possible because of the fact that that's just a lot of things to carry around. So if you have like a battery cradle over here, your smartphone, 2 different types of cameras, and then you have your DJI Mic Mini case for the receiver and the transmitter, it just all becomes really heavy to carry. So again, for me personally, I just like to have the mic because I have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which I know is not going to be the case for many of you who are watching this, but also again, you can pair that DJI Mic Mini to your cell phone. So one of the things that's cool about this Mic Mini is that you can actually pair it to non-DJI cameras, such as the Insta360 X4. And so there is going to be a pairing sequence that you're going to have to complete. And once you complete that pairing sequence, you will be able to record your video on the Insta360 X4 or various other cameras, and then use the DJI Mic Mini so that way you can capture the audio with it, which is just a phenomenal thing. I don't believe there is going to be any audio degradation if you pair the DJI Mic Mini with another type of brand camera, but if there is, let me know in the comments below, because that's something that we all need to know. One thing that the DJI Mic Mini doesn't have that the DJI Mic 2 does have is the fact that this DJI Mic 2 allows for internal recording. So you don't necessarily have to have this paired with a DJI camera. You could actually use the DJI Mic 2 just to record things as if you were in a classroom or something like that. And then you can go ahead and use the USB-C port that the DJI Mic Mini doesn't have, but the DJI Mic 2 does have. And you can go ahead and extrapolate the recordings from the DJI Mic 2 via the USB port. And so that is something that the DJI Mic Mini doesn't have. The DJI Mic Mini doesn't have any type of internal recording. It is going to be solely dependent on the storage of the device that it's recording for. So for instance, if you are recording on an iPhone or the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, this is going to store all of the audio on that device. There is going to be no option for you to have any of the recordings stored on this little thing right here. And I'm assuming that's because of the small form factor. And so within the box, there is 2 wind mics or wind muffins or dead cats or whatever you want to call them. And they attach onto the top of the Mic Mini. So that way you can see that it will block out and isolate any of that wind noise. So that way, whenever you are doing content creation outside, you're able to go ahead and block out most of that wind noise. Within the packaging of the DJI Mic Mini, you get this little pouch. It's kind of cute. It's adorable. It's not really protective because, I mean, there's no hard casing in there. So it's something that you can kind of crumble. So I'm not sure if it's super secure to put your valuable technology in there, but DJI did put that in the boxing. DJI also added the Mic Mini's little docking station. This thing is adorable. I mean, it's tiny. It's magnetic, just like many other things are in technology world. You could go ahead and clip it on like that. You can shake it around. It's not going to come off because, again, it's magnetic. There is going to be some charging sections down there, and then it's going to connect to the sections over here. And then when you do have this connected like so, there is a USB section here, and that's going to be where you actually charge your docking station, which then charges the mic. So when you are charging the Mic Mini and you're charging just the transmitter, the actual mic right here, it is going to take approximately 90 minutes from 0 to 100. And so if you don't have the charging case, then you will be having to use the teeny tiny little docking station here. And so that way you can charge it and then continue to go. All right, so here I am in the city of Bremerton today, and here we have the DJI Mic Mini. So typically I usually record my audio with my videos with the DJI Mic 2, which I do have right here, and it is not on. It's actually here because I'm going to be doing an audio comparison here in a minute. But the purpose of this section of the video is to look and see how good is the DJI Mic 2 versus how good is the DJI Mic Mini. So one of the things that DJI promotes with this new DJI mic is its distance. It is up to 400 meters, which is phenomenal considering the size of this little DJI Mic Mini. Whereas the DJI Mic 2 actually has a distance of 250 meters. So it's almost double the distance if you're going to be using the DJI Mic 2 versus the DJI Mic Mini. And so I am going to walk down the pier behind me and checking to see how far the distance actually is. So this is where the audio quality and the video quality may become a little desynchronized, and I apologize for that, but it's for science. Okay, so I'm actually going to walk down there and we'll see how good the distance is on this DJI Mic Mini. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2, test 1 2. I sure hope the seagulls don't attack my camera. Test 1 2, test 1 2. 1 1 2, test 1 2. Where does the audio quit? Can you hear me? Or am I talking to myself? Continue. Where am I at? Can you hear me? I'm way far away. I can't even see my camera at this point. Test 1 2 1 1 2. Test 1 2 1 1 2. 2. So I'm trying to count the steps back to the actual camera, and I think I'm at 22. It's kind of hard to count the steps and also talk. So counting imaginarily in your brain while trying to talk and give meaningful content at the same time is really maximizing my brain power at this point. I'm at like 60 something or something like that. 60 something steps. Can you all hear me? I think you could probably hear me by now because I'm actually kind of close to the camera. If you've never visited the USS Turner Joy Museum warship here in Bremerton, highly recommend it. It's super cool that you're able to get onto an actual warship. All right, so how did that do? I won't actually know the audio quality until I review this video in post. So one of the things that the DJI Mic Mini does offer is going to be noise reduction. So if you see here, there are going to be two buttons. If you press the power button once, it's going to go into noise reduction 1. So I pressed it, and I don't actually know if it went into noise reduction level 1 because there was no like feedback or nothing on the screen that's saying that I am, oh, maybe it's yellow now. This light is yellow. Maybe that's an indication of noise level reduction. Let's see, press it twice. All right, the light is now off, so I guess that's some type of indication. So again, I am pressing the power button, so if I press it once, the yellow light turns on. If I press it once again, the yellow button turns off. If I press it twice, nothing happens. I'm gonna have to do more research on this. So the DJI Mic Mini does come with a wind muff, and actually it does a pretty good job with kind of isolating that noise. So now we're actually going to go ahead and try the DJI Mic 2, which, by the way, if you have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, you can have both mics attached to your camera all at the same time. But just for this part of the video, we're now going to switch over to the DJI Mic 2. We're gonna turn this one off, and then we're gonna check the audio and the distance again. FYI, at this point, I am using the onboard mic on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. How does that sound? So now I'm turning on the DJI Mic 2. You can see here that the form factor is a lot bigger than the DJI Mic Mini, and now it says I'm connected to the DJI Mic 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this distance thing over again and try to count in my head while still talk to you and checking to see how the audio is. So again, the DJI Mic 2 is supposed to go at a distance of 250 meters. So you do the math in feet, but I'll be right back and let me know what you think. Test 1, 1, 2, test 1, 1, 2, test 1, 1, 2, test 1, 1, 2. I am going to the same stopping destination that I went for the DJI Mic Mini, and if the audio is still picking up, hopefully we'll be able to make a good comparison. All right, we're about halfway there, almost back to the torpedo. Has the audio picked up yet, or has it not? If it has picked up, which one's better, the DJI Mic 2 or the DJI Mic Mini? Leave a comment below. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Can you hear me? Oh, there's a same torpedo. All right. So I am back at the camera, and I would like to know, which one do you think did better? So now I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm actually going to turn both mics on, and I'm going to see what that really means for you. So I'm going to turn on the DJI Mic Mini. It says transmitter 2 is now connected while transmitter 1 is still connected. And so now you can see that there is two different mics. I can probably do some post-editing magic with this in a little bit, but which one's better? Is this one better or is this one better? This one is the DJI Mic 2. DJI Mic 1, DJI Mic 2. Which one is better? All right, so I have two mics right here. You can see this is the Mic 2, this is the Mic Mini. The size comparison is phenomenal. Look at that, the size difference, just crazy. So the form factor of the DJI Mic Mini is going to be better for those people who are a little bit more shy to vlog in public, or maybe you want to be a little bit more conspicuous with the mic that you're using, which there's nothing wrong with either. Honestly, I like the DJI Mic 2. I like the DJI Mic Mini.
It really just depends on your preference.
So in order to pair your new DJI Mic Mini with your DJI Osmo Pocket 3, you will have to press that chain looking icon, which is the pairing icon for Bluetooth on the right hand side of the device. It's going to blink blue and green, and then on your DJI Osmo Pocket 3, you go into the settings, you select the settings icon, and then you press on TX1 or 2. It really depends on which one you want to select there. The camera will find the new DJI Mic Mini, and then you'll be able to see on the interface that there is a green bar at the top of the screen, which indicates that the audio is working with your DJI Osmo Pocket 3.
Okay, so let's walk and talk. I'm using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 right now, so I apologize if the footage seems a little bit bumpy. It is a pretty good camera when it comes to stabilization, but there is still some fallacies. And one thing that I learned about this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is that it's just the most phenomenal vlogging camera that you could ever want. So you definitely want to make sure that if you are thinking about doing content creation, or maybe you're thinking about doing some type of vlogging, or you want to document your trip, this is the camera. And if you're lucky, you might actually be able to catch some crazy good deals for Black Friday or for Christmas. One thing that I'm reading from a lot of forum posts from people on Reddit and YouTube and just other places on the internet is that these mics are really good for directional focus, meaning that it's going to help really isolate the person who's speaking or the people who are speaking in a certain direction. So for instance, if you want to capture more of the seagulls in the background here, you would not be using the DJI Mic Mini or the DJI Mic 2, mainly because of the fact that it doesn't really focus on the surround sound of things. If that is going to be the case where you want to have a type of surround sound, then I recommend just using the onboard mic and then incorporating the actual DJI mic's audio into it in post-production.
All right, so at the end of the day, you've seen the audio comparisons between the DJI Mic 2 as well as the DJI Mic Mini. And you can see that the audio is not too huge of a difference between the, I guess you could say, the older generation with the Mic 2 versus the newer generation. And honestly, I would really say that if you are looking to get this particular DJI mic, it's because of the fact that you don't have a mic already, or maybe it's because you are trying to be a little bit more conspicuous with the recording of your content of whatever it is. So this is a phenomenal particular mic. I think I'm going to keep it because of the fact that I can have now the DJI Mic 2 paired to my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and then I can have the Mic Mini paired to my Insta360 X4. Another reason to look into this mic is because this mic is super affordable. And honestly, just for the transmitter itself at $59, you can't really beat that. It's a good quality mic, even though it doesn't have a receiver and it's being used via Bluetooth with your iPhone or your Android phone. So I did do an ASMR video unboxing for the DJI Mic Mini. So if you're interested in seeing that, go ahead and click on this video right here. I'll see you in the next one.